In the Middle East, Israel continues to face threats on several fronts. Today, 18 people, including 14 soldiers, were injured in northern Israel after Hezbollah launched an attack from Lebanon. In Gaza, Israel continues its military operation against Hamas. The IDF says it is also transferring more aid to civilians. And then there is Iran. Israel still weighing how, when, and if it will respond after Iran's attack this weekend. Iran's president said even the tiniest invasion would be met with a, quote, massive and harsh response. Eyewitness News reporter Josh Einiger has been reporting from Israel and today crossed the border into Amman, Jordan. He's live this evening there. Josh?
Well, Sandra, of course, Jordan was part of the coalition of allied nations that so successfully fended off that attack on Saturday night. And even now, Jordan's American-made F-16s are flying around over Amman. In fact, one just passed a little while ago, flying circles to try to show a force to the region, both sides of this conflict, that its airspace is not to be used as this conflict continues to escalate. This is Benjamin Netanyahu has continued to rebuff attempts from world leaders to tell him to back off and prevent a further escalation of this conflict.
Days after the unprecedented barrage of missiles and drones targeted Israeli citizens, there's still no obvious sign of Israel's plans to retaliate, and there's no shortage of pressure from world leaders, including the foreign ministers of England and Germany, who traveled to Israel today to counsel restraint, though Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was having none of it.
They also have all kinds of suggestions and advice. I appreciate it, but I want to make it clear. We will make our own decisions, and the state of Israel will do everything necessary to defend itself.
And as the Israeli war cabinet consumes itself with plans for Iran, in Gaza, the fighting continues. From our perch near northern Gaza, we saw smoke rising after a large explosion a few miles away from Nahal Oz, one of 16 kibbutz communities devastated on October 7th.
A second ago, we heard some ordnance, and then we saw that smoke rising in the distance there. Here in Nahal Oz, they say this continues to happen. We are told, of course, that hostilities are reducing in Gaza, that the IDF has pulled out a lot of its footprint from the Gaza Strip, but there is still a lot of activity going on right now on a daily basis just over there.
The entire Gazan village on the other side of this field was leveled by the IDF. Israel today opened a new corridor for humanitarian aid shipments in the south, part of its response to American complaints it wasn't doing enough for the people of Gaza. And now, with the White House pressuring Israel to avoid a further escalation with Iran, Israelis are telling U.S. officials they'll retaliate very carefully. Israel's goal is to reestablish deterrence against Iran, though the supreme leader says any retaliation will be met with force. Saturday was just a warning, he told a reporter. If Iran attacked, it would be harsher.
Chilling words there, and reason that a lot of world leaders are concerned about an escalation. It is hard to explain just how much is happening right now in Israel. There's that activity that we saw in Gaza still to this day. There is a lot of rocket and missile rockets being exchanged on the northern border between Israel and Hezbollah, which of course is an Iranian proxy in southern Lebanon. And then of course there is this concern over what might happen with Iran. Airlines have started pulling out once again from the Tel Aviv airport, and every seat out of Israel is full as people experienced Saturday night and don't want to stick around to see what happens next. We're live in Amman, Jordan tonight. Josh Einiger, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.